boys and girls. I am Rosia Pine Gallimore from the Bamboo Primary and Junior High School. Today, we'll be looking at how to change verbs from present tense to past tense. Now, I know that you have your readers. I want you to take them out because we are going to be looking at the story, The Bun Shop. I love this story and I know that you love it too. Look at my slide. What are verbs? Look closely at the slide. You will see a number of things happening. A little boy is crying. Another one is kicking a ball. A little girl is running. Based on the slide, what can we say verbs are? Verbs are doing words. They describe actions. Here are some examples in sentences. Sally walks with her dog down the road. Yesterday, Sally walked with her dog down the road. Sally and her dog walk down the road. Sally is walking down the road with her dog. Now, if you notice closely, you'll see that all the verbs are underlined. Walks, walked, walk, and walking. They describe actions. We can find out what the verb is in a sentence by simply asking ourselves, what is the subject doing? Okay, let us continue. Present to past. There are 5 ways to change a verb from present tense to past tense. 1. Just add ed. 2. Drop the final e and add ed. 3. Change the y to I and add ed. 4. Change the spelling. And 5. Double the final consonant and add ed. We are going to be looking at each of them. The first one, just add ed. Now, most verbs can change from the present to the past by just adding ed. These verbs are regular verbs. For example, the sentence, today I walk home. Walk is the verb. Yesterday I walked home. Now, we simply add ed to the word walk, which is a regular verb, to get the past tense verb walked. Another example. Did it rain today? It rained yesterday. The word rain is a regular verb. We add ed to the word rain to get the past tense verb rained. Let's look at the second step. Drop in the final e. When a present tense verb ends with a silent e, drop the e and add ed to make the verb change to past tense. The word skate is a verb. Look at how we change it in these sentences. Skate with me. We skated together at the rink. The word skate ends with the letter E. The letter E is a silent E, meaning it doesn't make any sound. We simply drop that E, then add our ending ed. Another example. I like to shop. I liked shopping with you. Like is another verb that ends with the letter E, and the letter E in the word like is a silent E. We simply drop the E, then add our ending ed. Are you learning, boys and girls? Oh yes, let us continue. Changing Y to I. When a present tense verb ends with a Y, change the Y to I and add ed to make the verb change to past tense. Here are the sentences. Will you help me carry the groceries? Carry ends with the letter Y. We carried them to the kitchen. Boys and girls, we change the Y to I and then add ed. The word carried is spelled carried. Let's look at another example. Eric asked me to marry him on New Year's Day. Marry is the verb in the sentence, and it ends with the letter Y. We got married on August 2, 1997. We changed the Y to I and then add our ending ed. The new word, which is a past tense verb, married, is spelled married. Continuing. Let us look at changing the spelling of the words. Sometimes a present tense verb changes its entire spelling to make the verb change to past tense. If it helps, say, yesterday I, to help find the right word to use in the past tense. Here are some sentences. We eat lunch at 11:30. We ate lunch at 11:30 yesterday. The verb eat becomes the verb ate in the past tense. Notice the spelling of the word change. A matter of fact, it changed to another word. Let's look at another example. Stand straight in line. We stood straight in line. The verb stand in the present tense becomes the verb stood in the past tense. Notice the spelling of the word change to form the past tense. Are you getting it? I hope you are. Let us continue. The final way. Doubling the final consonant. When a present tense verb ends with one vowel and one consonant, double the final consonant and add ed to make the verb change to past tense. Here are the examples. Drop the ball. He dropped the ball. Now look closely at the word, boys and girls. The word drop is spelled D-R-O-P. Look at the three final letters in the word. R, which is a consonant, O, a vowel, and P, another consonant. Remember the rule? CVC pattern is right there. We double the final consonant, which is a P, and then add our ed. So the second sentence, he dropped the ball, we'll notice that the word dropped is spelled D-R-O-P-P-E-D. I know that you are understanding quite well. So let's look at the next example. Hop on one foot. She hopped on one foot. The word hop, H-O-P, becomes the word hopped in the past tense. H is a consonant, O a vowel, and P another consonant. So we double the last letter, which is the letter P, and then add our ED. H-O-P-P-E-D is the word hot. Boys and girls, I know that you now know the 5 ways to change from present tense to past tense. But today, we are going to look more closely at how to double the final letter before adding ed. So let us look at the objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to state the 5 ways of changing verbs from present to past tense. State the 2 rules for doubling the final consonant, then adding ed. Identify verbs which double the final consonant before adding ed to form the past tense. And decode, spell, and pronounce at least 3 sight words. Okay, boys and girls, our story, The Bun Shop, has lots of verbs in it. From our previous lesson, we looked at all the verbs that end with ed. Look at your story, scan it quickly, and see how best you can identify at least 5 of those verbs. Here on my screen, I have listed all the verbs from the story that end with ed. Opened, learned, asked, dropped, wanted, stretched, insisted, picked, needed, placed, visited, worried, started, climbed, faced, stopped, grumbled, wondered, cultivated, lived, glared, agreed, begged, smiled, added, tried, planted. Now, boys and girls, you'll notice that 3 of those words are underlined. What else do you notice about those words? Yes, they have double letters in the middle. Okay, boys and girls, there are 2 rules to remember. Look carefully and follow closely. We are going to have some fun learning those 2 rules. Let's look at the 2 rules for doubling the final consonant, then adding ed. Rule number 1. If a regular verb ends in a consonant plus a vowel plus another consonant having a CVC pattern, you double the ending consonant before you add ed. You might be wondering what a CVC pattern is. Let me explain. C is for consonant, V vowel, and C consonant. So you'll be seeing a CVC consonant vowel consonant pattern at the end of the verbs that we'll be working with. Let's continue. Examples. The verb plan, P-L-A-N. Notice the 3 last letters. L is a consonant, A a vowel, and N another consonant, having a CVC pattern. The past tense is planned, P-L-A-N-N-E-D. We have doubled the final letter, which is a consonant, and then add our ed. The second example, slap, S-L-A-P. Notice the 3 last letters. L a consonant, A, a vowel, and P, another consonant. What is the pattern called? Yes, a CVC pattern. Now the past tense of the word slap is slapped. S-L-A-P-P-E-D. We double the last letter P, then add ED. The last one, grab. Notice again the three last letters. R-A-B. A CVC pattern. R, consonant. A, vowel. B, consonant. The past tense for the word grab is grabbed. G-R-A-B-B-E-D. We've doubled the B and then add ED. Did you understand that rule? Oh yes, it was as clear as a crystal. Let us continue. Words from the story, The Bun Shop. The word dropped is spelled D-R-O-P-P-E-D. What is it in the present tense? Yes, boys and girls, it is the word drop. D-R-O-P. D-R-O-P has a CVC pattern at the end. R, consonant. O, vowel, and P, consonant. To form the past tense, we double the ending consonant, then add ED, forming the past tense verb dropped. Okay. Stopped. Stop is the base verb for the word stopped. It also has a CVC pattern at the end. T, consonant. O, vowel. P, consonant. Remember, to form the past tense, we double the ending consonant, then add ED, forming the word stopped. There is also another word from the story. Remember, we said that there are three words that have the double letter in the middle, followed by the ending ED. So let's look at the last one. The word is begged. Beg is the base verb. It only has three letters. B, the consonant. E, vowel. G, consonant. By now you know the rule. To form the past tense, we double the ending consonant, then add ED, forming the word begged. Okay, boys and girls, the first rule is very easy, but you'll have to listen more attentively so that you learn the second rule. Are you ready? I am. Let's go. Rule number 2. If a regular verb with two or more syllables ends with a single vowel followed by a single consonant, and if the final syllable is the accented or stressed, double the last letter before adding ED. Did you get that? Let's look at the examples. The verb control has two syllables. Control. The past tense for the word control is spelled C-O-N-T-R-O-L-L-E-D. Why is it spelled that way? The rule says if the last syllable is stressed, then we must double the last letter and add ED. Hence, the word is spelled C-O-N-T-R-O-L-L-E-D. Another example. Commit. Commit has two syllables, come and mit. Mit is the stressed syllable and it is the last syllable. So we double the ending letter T and then add ed, forming the word committed. committed. Let us continue. Controlled. Control is the base verb having two syllables, con and troll. Now look at the last syllable, troll. It has a CVC pattern at the end. And we had said CVC is for consonant, vowel, consonant. R is a consonant, O is a vowel, and L is another consonant. Therefore, we double the letter L and then add ed. So the past tense verb for the word control is controlled. Controlled is spelled controlled. I know, boys and girls, that you understand that rule. So let us try another example. I am going to be asking you a few questions as we do this one. So, let's go. The word is commit. Now, how many syllables the word commit has? If you said the word commit has two syllables, you are correct. Pat yourself. Now, boys and girls, what pattern is at the end of the word commit? Wonderful. A CVC pattern. What is the rule that we must use to form the past tense of the word commit? Yes, we must double the last letter, then add ed. The word committed is spelled committed. Yes, boys and girls, we now know the two rules for adding ed at the end of words that have a CVC pattern. We double the last letter and then add ed. Always remember that. I have put together a dub and we are going to do it so that we can remember the two rules for doubling the final consonant, then add ed. Let's get right to it. Snap your fingers like this. We are going to begin. When changing from present tense to past tense, my friend, sometimes you add ed to the verb's end. There are two rules. Yes, two rules, my friend. You need to know them and don't forget them. If the word ends with a consonant, then a vowel and another consonant, double the last consonant before you add ed to the end. Look out! Some verbs have more than one syllable. If the last syllable is stressed, double the last letter, then add ed to the end. Those are the two rules. The two rules, my friend. Know them and never forget them. Okay, boys and girls, let us continue. We are now going to be reviewing our objectives. to see if we have achieved them. Did we state the 5 ways of changing verbs from present to past tense? Yes, we did. Did we state the 2 rules for doubling the final consonant then adding ed? Oh yes. Did we identify verbs which double the final consonant before adding ed to form the past tense? Oh yes. And lastly, did we decode, spell and pronounce at least 3 sight words? Yes, boys and girls, we did all of those things. I do trust and hope that you enjoyed that lesson. I did, and I know that you won't have any problems forming the past tense of verbs. Have a wonderful day.